Have you ever struggled with losing weight? Well, we sure have. And so we're going to be talking about that today, sharing a little bit about our experience and how we ended our struggle, and that we are both now on a really great process of losing weight steadily. And we're going to tell you all about that. But first, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. I'm Non-Monogamous Mark. I'm the co-founder of Non-Monogamous Lifestyles Association. And I encourage you to click on the description down there below. There's some links. You can look over the various links, but I really encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the email for Non-Monogamous Lifestyles Association. There's a lot of things that we have coming up, things that we're doing. We're starting to launch a coaching program for people because, you know, a lot of times people just really can thrive in their lives instead of just getting by. And so we're doing coaching. And so whether you're needing some coaching about losing some weight, or you're needing some coaching about your non-monogamous life, and our coaching is a spectrum of, we want to help people to live a life that is thriving in their health, which is then why we tie in today with our weight program, but then also with people with their wealth. Because, you know, we want you to be able to take and join us, the fun things that we do. And so, you know, like we're going to be having a cruise. We want to be able to have you join us on a cruise, and lots of fun things that we have planned for the future. And we want you to be able to join us. But more than that, it's really about not you joining us. It's about the life that you can have if you can live a life that is a wealthy life. Now, wealth is subjective, and I've talked about that in some other videos. I think that was about an email. Excuse me. So that's why I want to be on my email. I talk about, because the idea of wealth, for some people, like in the Philippines, wealth could be $1,000 a month, and yet, here in the United States, wealth, probably $5,000 to $10,000 a month. But one of the ideas behind wealth is just to have a life that is free. Where you're not dependent. And that's a key factor that we talk about. But so we talk about wellness, we talk about wealth, and then we talk also about your relationships and about your sex life, because being non-monogamous and the founder of Non-Monogamous Lifestyles Association, we truly believe that it's really wonderful and it's good to have an ethical and consensual non-monogamous sex life where you can enjoy sex with multiple partners. And so that's just kind of what we're about. And then who am I with here today? Who are you?
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Mark.
Chris is my partner that I live with in Seattle. I'm coming to you today from Seattle, Washington. And so Chris is my partner that we've been together now for coming up pretty close, almost 11 years. And so, she was a large woman when I first met her. I was a larger man than I am now, but Chris was probably the largest woman that I ever dated. And one of the things, when we first met and we talked about weight, and I mentioned to you that I said that you're the largest woman that I've ever dated, and I said that it's easy to see that weight creep up from year to year. And so, you told me, because I didn't know you until about 10, 11 years ago, but before that, when you were much younger, you said you really weren't heavy. And so tell us a little bit about that.
A little bit about that?
Yeah, you mean like you weren't heavy, like, as a baby, as a teenager, as a in your 20s or whatever?
I always struggled with my weight.
You always struggled with your weight?
I managed to keep it down.
Okay.
I always struggled with my weight, but managed to keep it down until I got pregnant with my first child.
That does it for a lot of women, doesn't it?
And then I just piled on the pounds, and I just never seemed to be able to take them off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that really does. I see a lot of women that, very common too. I'll see women that will have their first child, and then after their first child, they're able to lose some weight and kind of maintain that. But then when the second child, it seems like that if they have two children, it seems like that second child just really piles it on. Well, because you've got 2 children and they're like 10 years apart.
12 years apart.
12 years apart.
Yeah.
And so now, so you had your daughter first. And so when you had your daughter, were you able to kind of still keep it down, or
not really? It just stayed where it was.
Okay, so you gained weight when you got pregnant with her.
When I got pregnant, stayed where it was. When I had pregnant with my son, I actually didn't gain any weight.
Oh wow!
With him, I was like, when I was pregnant with him, I craved grilled chicken and artichokes, and that's pretty much what I ate for 9 months.
Yeah.
So I didn't, and then when he was 2 months before he turned 4, I lost my husband to suicide. And
just the mental stuff from that.
Yeah, I packed on a lot of weight.
Mental and emotional stuff from having your husband commit suicide. Yeah. Right. And then it was after that, after he committed suicide, you met his girlfriend apparently. So that was not several of them. And that was not an ethical and consensual non-monogamous arrangement. It was non-monogamy, wasn't it?
It was non-monogamy, and
not known to you, yes. And but that was not an ethical and consensual. And so then I come along, and I'm actually you met me about a year later.
2 years.
2 years later, okay, it was 2 years later, and so 2 years later you meet me, and and I'm married. Yeah. And how weird was that?
It was weird, but you know what? I wasn't ready for a full-time relationship. You were open and upfront about it. And I'd been in a relationship that I thought was a monogamous relationship that was not. And it was all hidden from me.
So really,
and I decided I would much rather get into a relationship with somebody that was upfront.
So what made the difference was the honesty.
The honesty. The open and honesty, and you said that your wife knew about it, and it's like, okay, as long as she's okay, and yeah, it was just the honesty and the openness about it.
And so you actually became friends with her.
I did. I love Lisa.
And so she's passed on now, but so let's go ahead and get back to our topic for today then. So because see, with me, I didn't have that situation where a lot of guys will say, well, yeah, my wife really gained the weight when she got pregnant, but then she lost, she gave birth to the baby, and then she lost some weight, and I didn't, because I gained weight when she got pregnant too, and I didn't. Have you ever heard that story?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard that too. And
sympathy cravings.
Sympathy cravings, is that what they call it? Well, that was not me, because my wife had never been pregnant, and so I never went through a relationship where my partner was pregnant. I don't have that excuse then to give. It was simply, I was 145 pounds when I got married, and then it was like I just steadily and slowly. I mean, let's see, I got married when I was 22, but I figured out one point from the age of 19 to 49, before I really started to turn things around, and age 19 to 49, and 19 to 22, I stayed my weight right around 145 pounds. But then 22, I don't know what happened with after getting married. I couldn't even tell you when it really started I started my weight gain, where I really started to gain. I don't know if it happened when I was if it started when I was in my late 20s or when, but all I know is that at the age of 49, in that 30-year period from 19 years old to 49, somewhere along the ways, and it wasn't overnight, but somewhere and somehow, I packed on 110 pounds.
A lot of that time you were on the road.
Yes, I was on the road constantly.
Eating out, probably not eating as well as you should have been eating convenient, because you traveled a lot.
I did. I traveled a lot. I worked 80 to 100 hours a week. And so to me, it's like I just didn't have time to worry about and pay attention to weight. I was really busy working and building my business in those days. So you're right, but so finally, at the age of 49, and that was when my wife and I then opened our relationship and opened our marriage, because we were monogamous before those years, and then we opened our marriage. And at that point, I started to realize, wait a minute, I want to be able to date women that think that I look good, and I want to be able to date women that when we go out, they're like happy to have me with them instead of like having to think, oh, I hope nobody sees me because I really like this guy, but it's just like, look how fat he's gotten, And so I didn't, I became very self-conscious. And for the first time in my life, at the age of 49, when I opened my marriage, I became self-conscious and very aware of how fat I had gotten. And not only that, then, of course, then I started also going, because I wanted to liberate myself from some things in my past, and I started occasionally going to nudist places. And as I went off to nudist places, there's people of all sizes at the nudist places, whether I've been in nude beaches and nude resorts and nude clubs, and people of all sizes. But still in my mind, I look there and I say, yeah, I want to look better. And so I want to start to lose some weight. Now, before you met me, had you ever been to any place where you were nude?
Not outside of my house.
Not outside of your house. And so, yeah, that was a new experience for you.
It was. I actually like it.
And when you first had that experience, did you at first, because we've never talked about any of this, but were you really self-conscious about your weight? Did it make you more self-conscious where you think, oh, I'm overweight and I don't know?
I was really self-conscious more so before I got there. But after I got there, some of that went away, seeing that there were all shapes and sizes and I wasn't the only one that was, So
that's a really great point to make, that we build up all these fears and concerns in our head. And I've said this about people, that haven't been to a nudist situation and I just need to lose weight first, or I don't. But yeah, it's like we build up all this stuff in our head before we go. And then because for you, it was an experience where not only before you went, not only was it an experience of and being self-conscious about your weight, but also just the whole thing of being naked around other people.
Yeah. I remember the first time we went to the beach.
It was our first time. We went to a new beach in Oregon.
And I was so nervous about it, but you get there and there's all ages, shapes, sizes, from the very young to the very old, from the very skinny to the not very skinny. It was great.
Yeah, and
so, nobody's looking at you and judging you.
Yeah, and so it's a liberating experience, and it really it's just the way that it feels just to be naked and to be there outdoors and naked with other people.
Yeah, it is very freeing. It's a great feeling being out there with the sun and
Now, in that experience though, after your first experience, like when I had my first experience with that, I had already started to be non-monogamous, and non-monogamy helped me to think about how I look. But then when I started having nudist experiences, then also that really helped me to think about how I look. When you after you had your first nudist experience, did that really have you thinking about where it just makes you want to like turn your own personal car in the direction of?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It definitely wanted me to turn around. Even though you're not judged, it's like you still want to look better.
You just want to look better
and feel better.
And I think that's one of the benefits of being a nudist is that you're not judged. There are people of all sizes, and but just being in that environment, it makes you want to take and turn your, let's say your car around, as I use, but you want to turn your life around to where now you've got it pointed in the direction of losing weight or looking good, having a good looking body, instead of just allowing it to continue on in that process. Yeah. And so that's kind of an interesting experience with nudity. And if you haven't experienced public nudity yet, I really encourage that. Go on a vacation or take and go out there somewhere to find a club you can join, maybe even like a swingers club. Now, there's another situation too, because you'd never been to a swingers club before we met, but then we both joined about the same week a swingers organization. And so it was online, and I posted an introduction to myself, and that's then you saw that introduction.
Yeah, you reeled me in.
And it says, wow, look, he even says he's married, and it's like, I'm going to at least check this guy out. And she sent me a message, and so then we went to this party together. We said, hey, well, we've been chatting, and why don't we meet and have coffee before. And then we can go to the party, because we both wanted to go. We said we'd have no obligation or anything. We don't have to have sex or anything, and we'll just see how things go. And of course, then we went to the party and we had sex, and we had a really good time.
11 years later, we're still here.
Yeah, but what was that experience like for you then? Not from the standpoint of the sex experience, from the standpoint of just being naked there in front of other people, of that situation. I mean, if you can remember back.
Again, I was really, really nervous. But it was, again, all shapes and sizes, and it really didn't matter. And actually, I thought I would be very nervous and scared about the sex part as well. But then when you're in the heat of the moment and into it, it's like everything else disappears.
Yeah, because we were out in plain sight having sex, because there's just this big room where multiple mattresses and people having sex, and people watching people have sex.
Yeah, that they all disappeared. But yeah, I mean, they were all shapes and sizes, and so it really didn't matter.
And so and I actually I really enjoy that, having sex in that kind of an open environment. We went on a camp out one time, and it was a swingers camp out, and now I forgot the tent, didn't I?
You did forget the tent. Yes.
Yeah. And so we laid out our air mattresses and stuff, and we just decided that we would, enjoy ourselves under the stars. And so there again, then, we had sex right out there under the, in the daylight, even during the middle of the day, with people, watching on and what have you. And so that was, all part of what we start learning about our body acceptance and our body awareness, and starting to become aware of the fact that, we want to lose a little bit of weight. We want to look better. And so for me, that really started my struggle. And that's now gone on for, almost 13 years, where just struggling to lose weight. I turned it around, and I'd lost some weight. I started out my struggle. I says, okay, well, I'm going to go on a diet for the first time in my life. And for a year, I went on the Atkins diet, and I did wonderfully on that. I lost. I got down to 195 pounds, and so I was up to between 155 or 165. Somewhere there was my range that I had gotten up to. And not 160. I'd gotten up to between 255 and 265, not one.
Wow.
So I'd gotten up to 255 to 265 was kind of my range that I'd gotten up to. And so then, I got down to 195 pounds on the Atkins diet. But, the thing is that when I got off the Atkins diet, it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't long before I was back up to 245 pounds. And, I didn't get to 255 or 265 again, but 245 was bad enough. And so then I says, okay, well, I got to do something. And the next thing is that I went and did a juice fast. I did 30 days on nothing but green juice. And did you do 30 days as well with me? Okay, yes. I've forgotten that. So we did a 30-day juice fast.
The video.
And now I really am a strong believer and proponent in juicing and the benefit that it can have in our lives. We watched that video. It's called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, a documentary. Great documentary. And so, sure enough, then with that juice fast, I was able to lose weight. I didn't get down below 200. I've never been able to get below 200 again. But I got down to around 210. And so, from 245 to 210. And so that was 30 days where all we drank was this green juice that we made. And didn't eat anything else, didn't drink anything else, or water we drank. And so then, as soon as we finished that, then there again, I started to gain weight again. And my weight went all the way back up to where then I ranged between 135 and 140.
235.
Excuse me, 235 to 240. And so I never kind of got back up to 245 again, but still 235 to 240 is not where I wanted to be. And so it was just a constant struggle. And and so after that, we joined this multi-level company with great products, and we spent about a year, I'd say, working with their products. And I just, one of the things with their products is they talk about that they tune up your metabolism. And so when you get a better tuned metabolism, then your body's running more efficiently. It's burning the food that you eat more efficiently. And when that all happens, then you start to lose weight. And so we wanted to give it a good chance. But it just never really worked all that well for me.
Didn't have the results that we hoped.
Not the results that we had hoped. So other people we met had great results with it, but we just didn't have those results with it. And so there again, then it was just this struggle that went on with weight. We joined a gym, didn't we?
We did join a gym, and we went a
lot. And you also you paid extra for a personal trainer.
Personal trainer, what, 2 nights a week?
Yeah. And that wasn't cheap.
It was not cheap.
I don't know how much that was. I don't remember.
It was $50 a session.
$50 a session. So it's $100 a week for your personal trainer. For your personal trainer. Okay. So that's like $400 a month. And so for your personal trainer. And so that wasn't, inexpensive by any means. And so with that then, how did that work out?
I didn't lose any weight.
And I found that I wasn't losing weight. And I think I shared before that one of the things after a year of working out, I thought, okay, I just need to work out harder, because that's what we're taught so often in life, is we just got to work hard, and if that doesn't do it, you got to work harder. And so that was after a year. I spent 30 minutes every day on weights, right? And I spent 30 minutes every day on the elliptical, which was for me, I did that instead of a treadmill, because it's harder, more, the elliptical's a lot harder than a treadmill. Yeah. And so I spent 30 minutes on the elliptical, and I worked out hard for that 30 minutes.
You were drenched.
I was drenched in sweat, and so when after doing that for a year, then I just wasn't getting any results. Then what did I do? I decided, well, I need to work out longer. And so I went and shifted where I started working out for an hour on the elliptical. And I was burning sometimes on my workouts, because there's these little trackers that we had, and we kept track. Sometimes on my workouts, I was burning over 1,000 calories on my workout. And I wasn't eating bad. I wasn't eating perfect. But I thought somehow I ought to be losing weight, and I just never did.
You would think, because they say more exercise and you'll lose weight.
Yeah.
Better, and just it wasn't working.
Did not work. And so here last summer, I go off to this party.
My calves got defined, though.
Your calves got defined. I go off to this party last summer, and a swingers party. And this guy tells me about his weight loss coffee. And he had a little packet, just like this one right here. Let me get up there. A little packet, just like that one. And he's telling me, it increases your metabolism, and it decreases your appetite, and it's got all these herbs, so it's natural and it's healthy. And I just told him, I says, because I love my coffee and I'm a coffee connoisseur. And so I just told him, I says, well, you know, it really doesn't matter to me how good it is, because he had lost like 75 pounds. And I said, it doesn't matter to me like how good it is if it doesn't taste good. So it's got to taste good first. And he says, well, I tell you what, I'll give you this little packet and you take it home so you can taste it. And so I did that. I brought it home. And it's instant. You mix it with hot water, like it can't be very good, you know. And because again, I'm a coffee snob, yeah, coffee snob. And I mean, I was I was a commercial coffee roaster as well here in Seattle for quite a few years. And that was one of the things in my business that I built. We had custom roasted coffee. You know, and the reason I got into the custom roasting coffee business, so I had 70 other beverage products that I was already making and manufacturing in my company. And I said, what else can I sell to my customers? And I thought, coffee. And I love coffee. And so why don't I go ahead and get a coffee roaster, a roaster, and I'll start roasting coffee for my customers. And it was good coffee. And so, you know, yeah, I'm a coffee snob. And so, you know, I brought this home the next day. I tried it, and it tasted good. I was surprised. I was really surprised. You know, but he gave me one packet. Okay. It's like, what good is that going to even do me, you know? And I could taste it. And so then, you know, he says, yeah, well, you know, you can go ahead and buy a 1 month supply. And so I decided to do that. And this is a 1 month supply here. And this is 30 servings. And so he charged me $75, and I drove up to his place, which is in Marysville, Washington. So that's about an hour and a half. Yeah, an hour and a half. And so I drove up there to get it. And I got one tub for $75, and I brought it back, and I started drinking 1 cup a day. That's all you got to do is drink 1 cup a day. And so I took and stopped drinking because I was already drinking 1 cup a day of coffee. And so instead of taking and drinking my regular coffee, I went ahead and made a cup of this coffee. And right away, you can start to see, because, I mean, Chris does most of the cooking here. And you'd come home and I wasn't hungry.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they say that this will decrease your appetite. And it'll increase your metabolism, and it'll burn the fat, and all these kinds of things they say about it. And so, yeah, right away, you know, I started to lose my appetite. It's just also to take and wipe out your cravings, and I found that to be true. And so then you told me, you says, well, when you get more of that, I'd sure like to try it. Okay, and so the thing is, though, the guy who sold this stuff to me, I didn't think that he deserved my business, to be honest with you. And so it took me 2 months of searching on the internet to look for someone else to buy the coffee from, because I wanted to buy the coffee from someone that was deserving of my business. And it's not sold in stores. This is a multi-level company. It's made by a company called Valentus. And I'll tell you more about that in a moment. But it's a multi-level company. And so I wanted to find, you know, a distributor that was deserving of my business. And so it took me about 2 months to find a distributor. And then I found a distributor in about a half hour from where I'm at. And I went ahead and got a tub of coffee from him. And so I got 2 tubs. In fact, I got 1 tub for me and 1 tub for you.
I tried your tub first, yeah.
Did you try my original tub?
You gave me 10 scoops.
I gave you 10 scoops. Okay.
Yes.
And so what was your result, or what was when you first tried it? Now, you've got high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You're on high blood pressure medication, plus several others and what have you. And so,
several medications.
Just the high blood pressure? Okay. And so then that was a concern, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And now one of the things that they say also is if you're a nursing mom, you know, lactating nursing mom, or if you're pregnant, don't take it, okay? Or if you are a competitive athlete where you have to meet drug testing requirements and stuff like that, then this is going to become a flag for you on that. So if you are a competitive athlete, don't take it. If you are pregnant or a nursing mom, don't take it. But if other than that, then if you have any other medical concerns, then they recommend start out with just a half of a serving,
Yeah.
and then inside of here,
which is what I did. I took a full serving at first,
mm-hmm.
and then I went down to half a serving, and it was fantastic.
There's a little scoop inside of here, and you just scoop out the powder and you pour it into your cup of hot water, and you make it to taste. They say to pour it in a cup of hot water, 6 to 8 ounces. And I do 8 ounces of water and 1 scoop, and it tastes really wonderful for me. And so, yeah, you found that first time you did a full scoop that you were jittery.
I was jittery, and they say that can happen.
Yes, they do say that can happen.
But with my blood pressure and everything, it's like, you know what, I'll just do the half a scoop.
Mm-hmm.
And the half a scoop has been great.
And so you did a half a scoop, and then, of course, then I ran out of coffee. And so I was out of coffee for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got some more, and I got both of us a tub.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we're both able to enjoy it and get a better experience from it. And so that was like in right at the end of July, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, then I was going to be leaving here and be spending time with my other partner, Kathy, in California, and so. And then I was going to be going to China and all this kind of stuff. But as I myself then was using the coffee, I decided that, I looked into the company, and I decided it's a great company. The people involved in the company are wonderful people. The owners of the company are Dave and Joyce, his wife, Joyce Jordan. And I was in a multi-level back in the 80s. Now, starting in the early 80s, I got involved in Amway. And I was 20 years old at the time, and I got involved in Amway and thought, I'm going to go out there, and this looks like, a good way to make money. And multi-level is a wonderful way to make money, but there are good companies and there's bad companies. There's good ways of doing it, and there's bad ways of doing it. And so when I in the Amway business, I struggled with that, just like I did with my weight, but I struggled with trying to build an Amway business, going to all the events and functions and stuff. I did that, went on doing that for about 8 years before finally giving up on it, and the most I ever made was a couple $100 a month, I at least made a little bit, but not for 8 years of work. And so a lot of times, an industry like multi-level, people get a bad taste in their mouth for multi-level. But yet I also, during some of those years, I had a job selling nails. And the company that I sold nails for, after I'd been with them for quite a few years, they went out of business. And I was then out of work. And the thing is, though, I did not get a bad taste in my mouth and saying, well, those nail companies are bad, but yet for some reason, people will do that with multi-level. I don't understand that personally. And, but so anyway, after my experience with Amway, at that point, I had been diagnosed with high cholesterol. The very first time I'd ever had a cholesterol test, it was in my late 20s. And my cholesterol was over 450 points. I knew what it was from. At least I learned fairly quickly what it was from. My doctor told me I was going to have to be on this medication the rest of my life. Otherwise, I was going to be having major heart attacks. In fact, he told me if I wouldn't live much past 30. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, I'm not taking the prescriptions. And I'll get this under control. And I basically went on a vegetarian diet. And I had up to that point, for over 10 years, since I was a teenager, I drank, and probably for about 15 years, I drank a gallon of milk on the average every day.
It's a lot of milk.
It's a lot of milk. And so and back in that day, then I just mostly cut my milk out and cut the meat and cheese, and I got my cholesterol situation under control. But then I missed my milk. And I came across a milk product that was sold by a multi-level company, and that was a powdered milk product, and it had no cholesterol in it and so forth. And I just thought that was a great product. And then my family was all concerned about their cholesterol, because cholesterol screening had just been invented. That test for cholesterol had just started to come out. And so And so my family, you know, they had all gone, because they were all milk drinkers, and they had gone from drinking milk that are whole milk or 2% milk, and they went down to drinking skim milk. I can't stand skim milk. But that's what my family did, because they didn't want to have high cholesterol, because a lot of them did. And so I then started to just tell my family members about this milk product. And sure enough, they all started wanting to buy it from me, because it tasted good. It tasted better than skim milk. It it didn't cost any more than what they were buying already. And so they said, well, yeah, I let them taste it. And then they said, yeah, we'll give it a try. And they became my first customers. And then I went on from there to basically letting hundreds of people taste it. I'd set up a little table at little, bazaars and things like that. And ended up becoming a very huge and very successful distributor, making a six-figure income from that. And I had thousands of distributors all over the United States. But then that company went out of business, and so it's like a bummer, and that's kind of what a lot of times have gotten people with a bad impression of multi-level. And so yes, there are bad multi-level companies, and there are bad things about multi-level, but that's true with any industry. Now, you worked for the company that you went to work for like 10 years ago, and they've been gone out of business and been bought up several times now. And so now she works for a big, huge company, but it's the same company that you started with, but just kind of like the first company, they were, I guess, having problems then when you went to work there, and then at that point they were right at the point of getting bought out.
They had just been sold.
They had just been sold. Yes.
And then, so they just been sold.
And that just continued rolling into bigger companies, the whole little fish gets ate by the big shark and all that kind of stuff. And that's what's gone on with that. But that whole idea of the little fish, then it gets ate up by the bigger fish, and they get ate up by the bigger fish. That didn't put a bad taste in your mouth for the whole industry, did it?
No, it didn't put a bad taste in your mouth.
No, not at all. You just continue on with your work and with your life. Mm-hmm. And that's really the impression that I took and used with multi-level. Just because the company I worked with and made a lot of money with went out of business, I went on and built my beverage company then. And but I had been involved in really multi-level since the what was that 1989, I think it was, when I was last involved in multi-level. But when I went ahead and started using this product and having results with the product myself, I said, this is going to be huge. And sure enough, and I looked into it and I researched it. Dave and Joyce Jordan, before they started this business, they had made over $150 million as the largest sports memorabilia seller on eBay. And so they already were worth a fortune. But then David, over the years, he'd been involved as a distributor for several multi-level companies and had some good experiences and some bad experiences. And he decided that he wanted to leave a legacy in his life, and that his legacy would be that I'm going to build multi-level right. And what that meant is that he's going to have products that are just phenomenal products, and then secondly, products that are priced right. Thirdly, that he's going to go ahead and create a compensation plan not made for him because he's already wealthy, and also not made for the top distributors, the top dogs. But he says, I want to create a compensation plan that allows people to get involved and start making money right away. And so even the brand new distributor can start making money. And so that's what he did. He created an incredible compensation plan. And so I decided that I'd go ahead and become a distributor for the product. But between my time going to China and all that kind of stuff, I decided, well, I really need to wait until October to get started. And so I did. And so that was then about 3 months ago. And I've been then just, talking about the coffee, sharing with people, one of the last guys that I shared the coffee with, he told me about his struggles with weight. He didn't need to lose, like a huge amount of weight. But then here we are we're in the holiday season, and he started with this during the holiday season, and he lost, I think he told me in his first 30 days, he lost 20 pounds.
It works.
Yeah.
It really works. Even doing just the half a scoop.
So
it cuts the cravings. It
reduces your appetite.
Reduces my appetite. Before when people bring junk into the office, it's like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, there's donuts here. Let's run in and grab a donut. Now it's like, oh, okay. You don't even want one. It really does reduce the cravings. It cuts the appetite. It's an amazing product.
And I'm losing weight slowly. Some people lose it really quick, but I don't. But I'm losing weight slowly. I weighed myself because when I'm in California, I don't have scales there, and so I wait until I'm here where I can weigh myself. And I weighed myself yesterday, Friday, yesterday, and I was excited. I'm at 201 pounds. Ooh. Again, I haven't been close to 200 in like forever since the Atkins diet, So and I'm not having to be on a diet. And that's the thing. There have been people who have lost 100 pounds on this stuff, but it's sustainable. And so now this Valentus, the company, Dave and Joyce, it's not a brand new company. They've been around right now for 5.5 years. And this coffee has only been around for about 1.5 years, though. And when they introduced this product, before that, their number one product was a healthy energy drink. Instead of drinking all these energy drinks that aren't healthy for you, they had a product that was a healthy energy drink. It was a little powdered product. You just mix it with a bottle of water, and then you got a healthy energy drink. And then it was also cheaper than what people were paying in the stores for it. And so it was a great product. And so then they've been in business 4.5 years, and they were doing $700,000 a month, which I mean $700,000 a month. Where 4.5 years they started out at zero. That's great success. But they weren't a new company, so they had already been through some ups and some downs, and they had kind of smoothed things out and gotten their systems worked out. And that's one of the great things about the timing now in this company, because this company in the last 1.5 years then, when they introduced the coffee in May of 2018, 1.5 years ago, they were doing $700,000 a month. And I think, if I understand right, in December, they just this like this is now February 1 today. Right. And so just a month ago, they closed out December, and they did, I think it was like $18 million.
Something like that.
$18 million. Phenomenal. And that's because the stuff works, and the distributors are piling on, and the distributors are making money. And so I really it's just an exciting product. But then also they've come out with other really great cutting edge products. I'm not going to tell you about them here today, but let me go ahead and tell you, it works for us.
It works for us. I've lost 23 pounds so far.
23 pounds. Now, you also went on a cruise, and you didn't take the coffee with you.
I did not take the coffee with me, but the effects still lasted.
That's right, because you were on that ship for a week just enjoying, because when we both go on cruises, we enjoy the food.
Yeah.
And so when you came back from the cruise, how much weight had you gained from
I hadn't gained anything.
You gained nothing.
Nothing.
So
nothing.
that right alone is like amazing.
But the appetite was gone. I mean, you
still your cravings.
The cravings were gone. The appetite.
You still ate great food, and you enjoyed the food because you didn't take the coffee at all, and so you enjoyed it all. But you allowed yourself to enjoy whatever you wanted to enjoy. But then it's like you just didn't need to gorge yourself.
Right. And I found myself on the cruise going, oh, I can't wait to have a guy's burger. Because we have guys on this one. A guy's burger, I can't wait. And it's like, but I'm not hungry. I don't want it. You don't have that craving.
And now it was like a month or so ago, you went to the doctor for your checkup, right? Okay, and what was your doctor's response?
She was very happy, very, very happy with my weight loss and also with my numbers. They've all come down. And I told her, she goes, "What are you doing?"
Because she's been seeing Chris for quite a while now.
Yeah, same doctor.
And same doctor. And so she has all the records, It's like, well, you've never had these kinds of results when you come in to see me.
I fluctuate, between 5 pounds up or down,
Yeah.
And then this time it's like, she's going, "Wow, what are you doing?" I said, "All I'm doing is drinking this amazing coffee." And she goes, "What is it?" And I told her what it was, and she got her, they have the computers, looked it up right there and then, and she read the ingredients, and she goes, "Is it making your heart race?" I said, "No." She goes, "Is it, causing you to get jittery?" I said, "No, initially, but then I went to have a scoop, and it doesn't do that." And she goes, "Great."
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Keep it up,
Yeah.
And so if you go there to skinnywithbenefits.com, then you can scroll down to the bottom of that page. And one of the things you'll see all the ingredients listed that are in the coffee. And when you put your cursor over one of those ingredients, it tells you more about it, because I wasn't familiar with any of those. And so it tells you more about it. So then you can know exactly what that ingredient is doing in the coffee. Now, they've come out just like last week with a brand new formulation. And so I don't know anything about that yet. I haven't had time to learn about that yet. And I know they have a couple other coffees as well, but those are for like weight maintenance and management and stuff like that. The one that we are talking about here is Valentus Slim Roast Optimum Coffee. And so it's just like totally ended our struggle. And like with so many other people, some of the people that got started with this for 1.5 years ago, where they took off that extra weight. Some people just need to lose 5 or 10 pounds. Some people need to lose 100 pounds. And they went ahead and they lost that weight. And now what they found out is that, because they like to stay within a 5-pound range. If they get to the top of that 5-pound range, what they do is they don't need to go back onto some kind of a diet. All they do is they drink the coffee. 1 cup of coffee a day. It's that simple. They just need to drink the coffee then. And so let's just go ahead and tell you how to get the coffee and a little bit about pricing. First of all, you can, if you want to try and just have an experience, we have what's called a 6-day experience. And for $20, I can send this to you in the mail. It's just the back of it is all set for me to just mail it on out to you. And so I can send that to you in the mail anywhere in the world. And there's 6 of these little packets in there. So it's a 6-day experience. You get a chance to make 1 cup of coffee a day and experience it yourself for 6 days. That's $20 for a 6-day experience. And then we charge $4.95 as well. Now you can, after you try your 6-day experience, you can't order and buy these anymore. It's not a regular product. It's only so that I can take I actually put these together myself. And the company has the envelope thing that these are all in. They have it printed so that I can buy that from them. And then I put all the little packets in there and I tape it all shut, and so that I can mail it out to you. And so for a 6-day experience, you can experience it for $20, $4.95 shipping and handling. So it's going to cost you $24.95 to experience it for 6 days and try it and see it yourself. And with that comes with a 100% money back guarantee. And so for any reason, if you decide that you want a refund on that, not only would your $20 be refunded, but the $4.95 shipping and handling will be refunded as well. So you have nothing to lose for trying it out. And so you can contact me now when you go there to skinnywithbenefits.com. I'll tell you a little more about that in a few moments. But that's one way where you can maybe get in contact with me. But my email address is mark@skinnywithbenefits.com. mark@skinnywithbenefits.com. And so you can email me there at mark@skinnywithbenefits.com and say, hey, I'm ready. I've got some questions, or I'm ready to buy, and that's how to get a hold of me. So try it out for 6 days if you want a 6-day experience. But what a lot of people have found to be really helpful is to go ahead and just start out with a 30-day experience. Because here's what happens is that once you have tried it out for 3 or 4 days, you know how great this is. 3 to 4 days is all you need. And so you start thinking, wait a minute, what's going to happen when I run out? What's going to happen when I run out? Well, when you run out, then we need to get you a tub. And what's that going to cost you? The tub of coffee, if you're buying it retail, you can buy it several ways, and I'll go over covering that. You can buy it retail for $60 off my right there on my website, skinnywithbenefits.com, and you can click on the button that says order, and you can order a tub of it. And then there's it's $60 plus shipping and handling. And so when you get it directly from me by emailing me, mark@skinnywithbenefits.com, I ship it to you out of my stock. I do that because, to be honest with you, the company is growing so fast. Sometimes when you place an order for coffee, it is 2 weeks before you get it because they have to wait until they get more back in stock. And so it's been as much as 2 weeks before I've gotten an order. And so I don't want you to have to wait that long. And so if you order from me, mark@skinnywithbenefits.com, I ship it out right away. And so that way you can get started and enjoy it. And in fact, I'm going to be going to the Philippines here soon. And so what I'll probably do is let Chris take and sell you some coffee and kind of take care of things that way, so that she'll be you'd be her customer, and instead of mine, which is fine. So if you want to try, so people get started with a 6-day supply, and by the time 3 or 4 days go by, they know they want to try. And so then by the time I ship you a tub of coffee, then you're going to be about maybe up to a week without any coffee at all. And people get panicky about that because they don't want, working so good, they don't want to stop for a week.
And one thing you didn't mention?
What's that?
The mental clarity.
Oh, yes. Thank you. My best friend in California, he doesn't need to lose weight. He's in good shape. But he has a high security job where he has to, he does intelligence work, and he has to report to Homeland Security people. And then when he does that, he says at 8 o'clock in the morning, I get to work between 7:30 and 8, but at 8 o'clock in the morning, several days a week, I'm in high level meetings where I'm doing a briefing to all of these, actually it's military people, generals in the military, and colonels and people like that in the military, where he's doing a briefing with these guys. And so he has to be on point. He's retired military himself. He was an officer in the military. And then after retiring, he took his intelligence skills and got a job to keep doing that kind of stuff. But now he briefs generals and colonels and various people like that. And so he has this coffee at work. And the reason he has it at work, he says, I've never experienced anything like this that makes my mind snap, where I've got a lot of mental clarity instead of having that morning sluggishness. Mm-hmm. And so that's one of the benefits of the coffee, is the mental clarity. Mental clarity, yeah. With the herbs that are in there. That's right. And my website, skinnywithbenefits.com, it'll tell you a lot more about the benefits as well. But yeah, that's important. Yeah. Very important. You don't get that sluggishness. And so you can order the $20 for the 6-day experience plus $4.95 shipping and handling, or $60 for a 30-day experience plus $4.95 shipping and handling if you order directly from me. If you order that, and I'll only do one tub with that. If you order off the website, then the shipping and handling comes out to be a little more than $4.95, I think. But you can also place your order on the website. That's fine too. But either way, then what's going to happen then after you go through your first tub, then yes, I'll take you through getting set up so that you're going to take and have all your information, your name and your shipping address and your credit card. You're going to have that information there loaded into the Valentus website. It's a safe and secure website, but that way then you're going to, once you get all that set up, it'll take you about 5 minutes to set that all up. And after you set that up, then whenever you're needing more, you just go onto the website and you place your order. It's simple and easy.
Simple and easy, and the more you order, the less expensive.
That's right. The more you order, so that you can buy one container, and if I buy one container, and I'm known as an emerald distributor, and which is you start out, down at the bottom, I don't know what they call that, but it's like an emerald is like 3 or 4 levels up, and I'm an emerald distributor, and so when I buy one container, because I can buy one container off the website, it costs me $60, $59.95. And so there's no benefit for you or me in being a distributor or anything. It's just when you buy one container as a customer or a distributor, it's $59.95 plus shipping and handling. You can also buy 3 containers. You can buy 6 containers. You can buy 16 containers. You can buy 36 containers. And so you can buy, what you want. You can also click on the products tab on my website, and you'll learn about all the other wonderful products as well. And so you can, but you're going to get the same price as I'm going to get. What's the benefit then for being a distributor? I'm not going to go through all of it, but again, Dave and Joyce Jordan, they wanted to really put together just an amazing program. And it's $20 is a one-time lifetime fee. Now, I'm a card sender. I like to send cards in the mail. I pay $75 a year for my ability to send these cards in the mail through another multi-level that I belong to, but I just am a customer. I'm not building that business. But and I pay $75 a year for that. Well, and this is $20, a one-time fee, and you become an independent representative. And that's all you ever need to do then is to pay that $20 fee. And that way, if somebody you happen to talk to wants to try it out, then we will help you make sure that they can either have a 30-day trial or a 6-day trial, whatever they want. If I can send it to them from my inventory for you. But then after they have an experience with it and they say, yes, I want to be a customer, then as the independent representative, then they can be your customer instead of my customer. Or if they decide, hey, I want to be a distributor, then they can become a distributor, and then you get the opportunity to really profit from all of the business that they end up creating and developing. There are people who have become distributors in this company that have never been in business before, never been in multi-level before, that are today making 6-figure incomes. And so it's just a really great opportunity. Okay, and so then is there anything else that we need to really talk about then?
I don't think so. I think we covered it all.
I think we pretty well covered it. Do you have any questions? And that's right, I've not learned. Okay, so it looks like we're doing good. No questions. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. And let me just wrap it up by saying to subscribe or give the video a like as well, a thumbs up, or if you don't think it's good, give it a thumbs down. And so the subscribe, click on the little bell when you subscribe so you get notifications of when I do live streams or when I put a new video up. And then the other thing is to make sure you go ahead and look down below. There are links down there. And also I'll make sure I got my email address down there for you. And so look down below, but get on our email list for Non-Monogamous Lifestyles Association again. But I guess there is one other thing I want to mention as well, is that right now, at this point, right now, go to my website, skinnywithbenefits.com, and sign up for a free tour. What that'll do is when you sign up for a free tour, that'll give you a place in my downline. Now, this is a binary system. And so that means then that I only have 2 legs. And so you'll be in one of my 2 legs. And being in one of those 2 legs, then everybody else that comes along then will be underneath you. And so like I have, the guy that lost the 20 pounds, okay, well, he already is like, I think, because he hasn't put anybody in the business himself. But there's like 40 people that are in the business underneath him. And so already. And so that's where it really is good for you right now to go to my website, skinnywithbenefits.com, and sign up for a free tour. Because when you do that, that's going to lock a position in for you. And then anybody sees these videos afterwards, and they come along and they go, guess what? They're going to be in your downline instead of you being in their upline. Now, then also well, potentially you could be in their downline even if they sign up after you. How that works is that every Thursday they call what's called Leapfrog Thursday, and that you can take and be in that downline signed up for free, not having to buy. You don't have to buy anything, and so then you can be just sitting there and kind of checking things out. But then every Thursday at midnight, anybody who has become a distributor by paying the $20 fee and buying one product. That's all you got to do is buy one type of product and paying the $20 fee. And then what happens is that you take and get moved up above everybody that is still sitting there thinking about it and looking it over and hasn't taken and purchased any product and become a distributor. And so that's the thing, is that on Thursdays, and when you sign up there on that binary and take that free tour, that on Thursdays, anybody who's underneath you, if they go ahead and decide to sign up as an independent representative, plus buy one item, that's all they have to do, and you don't do that at all, they will leapfrog above you. Now, once you do that one time, then nobody will ever leapfrog above you because your position is permanently locked in. And so you never have to worry about that. And but so go there now and get into that, at least to that binary system. And then if you want to know more, again, then send me an email, mark@skinnywithbenefits.com, and I'll make sure I answer all your questions. Send me your phone number if you'd like to have a phone call. I'll be happy to call you or whatever like that. And so I think that I've kind of really covered it all. Well, so thanks a lot for spending the time here with us this evening. I know it's been an hour, and so I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Take care.